Magic Masses! I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Tubthumping, the 8-year anniversary show, was a great way for Pro Wrestling Magic to celebrate 8 years of existence, and a great show for me to make my return ever since my own worst enemy back in January. There was a pre-show match to get things started as we saw Troy Locke. Oh, I apologize, I got his name wrong. He went one-on-one with the seasoned veteran Preacher. Preacher ended up defeating Troy Locke, or is it Trey Locke, to win the match, and Preacher took the microphone and mentioned about a fundraiser for his daughter coming up. And he said that her medical bills were astronomical. And then eventually Shane Fair welcomes the crowd and everybody watching on IWTV to the main show, and as he does, we see the Dominican Destroyer Vargas and Kerr brawling their way into the building, and they go at it they're basically brawling it throughout the crowd, and they're eventually in front of me, and oh boy, they finally get to the ring, and the match officially gets underway, and then out comes the finisher, Steve Pena, with his key to the kingdom. Why is it called keys to the kingdom? It's only one actual key. And announced he was gonna, unlock the kingdom and basically cash in his title shot right then and there, insert himself into the match, and the finisher Steve Pena defeats Kerr and Dominican Destroyer Vargas to become the new Pro Wrestling Magic heavyweight champion. Now, no pun intended to Kerr when I say, will the heavyweight championship opening the show from time to time be a recurring theme? No pun intended to Kerr, because remember, Kingdom Come 7 back in December opened up with Kerr winning the belt from Dan Moff, and then my own worst enemy in January opened up with Kerr defeating Wrecking Ball Legursky. All right? Of course, I know the shows that I missed in February and March didn't kick off with, I don't think they kicked off with Kerr defending the belt. Okay? Next up, it was time for Prolific, Isaiah Wolf, Tyree Taylor, and Marcus Marquis. Isaiah took on General Manager Smiley, Osito, and Eden, accompanied by Trixie, Project Mayhem, for the Tri-Wizards Championship, which is their version of the six-man tag team title. Eventually, another masked man came out, and I forgot whose ankle he grabbed. He grabbed somebody from Prolific, and eventually Project Mayhem defeated Prolific to become the new Pro Wrestling Magic Tri-Wizards champions. Up next was time for the Death Row Challenge. Death Row, current tag team champions, John Tella and Bruno Oso Blanco, come out, and out comes Hispanos Unidos' members, Azriel and Sebastian Cage. And Death Row, I think it was Bruno, he says, listen, we issued open challenge, but the tag belts are not on the line. But then, unbeknownst to them, comes was Johnny Santos, climbed the top rope and hit a dropkick on somebody, and it wound up a 3-on-2 matchup because they didn't care if it was two teams or 3 men, 4 men. I forgot what else Bruno and John said in that open challenge before they came out. But eventually, Azriel, Sebastian Cage, and Johnny Santos defeat Death Row in this matchup, and it's safe to say Johnny Santos now a member of Hispanos Unidos. The next matchup, we see Travis Jacobs accompanied to the ring by Tony Ice. All apologies, I got his name wrong. As he took on the legend Magic. And by the way, right before this match got underway, Nick Shin was in the ring, and Shane Fair announced that there was some kind of Batmobile that needed to be moved, and Nick Shin I guess he thought it was his. But aside from Batman, who in real life owns a Batmobile? Boggles my mind. But out comes another referee, simply known as Ref Dave, or David. And he comes out, and Magic and Travis go at it, and I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't go so far to say that Ref Dave was like Danny Davis, Nick Patrick, Jeff Jones, and whatever biased referees that have come along in wrestling over the years. But he was constantly slow counting for Travis, and at that point, he and Dave got into a shoving fight, and Magic eventually pinned Travis Jacobs to win the match. And Travis was going to use eventually, I think Tony Ice, again, all apologies, I got his name wrong. Tony Ice comes back out with like a chain, and he was going to use it, but I forgot the lady who does the interviews for Pro Wrestling Match. She comes out, and Ref Dave challenges Travis Jacobs to a match on Saturday, May 20th at the next show. Then from there, we see the Magic Kingdom Ripper, the Revolver, Alex Ryman, challenge, as you heard me correct, challenge the finisher Steve Pena for the Heavyweight Championship. Quite a match these two had. And eventually, I forgot what Alex was going to do, but Dan Moff's music starts playing. Alex leaves the ring. He goes to the curtain. Does he Moff behind the curtain? Alex then goes to look behind the pickup window where the food and drinks are sold, and Moff wasn't there. Alex eventually comes back in the ring, and Steve Pena eventually capitalizes on the distraction and puts Alex in a sleeper hold and retains the championship. Now, what boggles my mind is this. Steve Pena also used the sleeper hold to win the title earlier in the show, defeating previous champ Kerr and Dominican Destroyer Vargas. I don't understand. How come? Why is it that the match ends? Alex Ryman's arm dropped one time and they stopped the match, but yet earlier in the night, Kerr's arm, after it dropped 3 times, something doesn't add up here. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, folks. I mean, Kerr's arm drops 3 times and Ryman only once. That doesn't add up. And I think it's safe to say Steve Pena has made history because I believe he's the only one so far who has cashed in his key, unlocked the kingdom with a key, won the heavyweight title, and retained the heavyweight title all in the same show. By the way, anybody can think back in time, was there any keys to the kingdom winners that cashed in and failed to win the championship, or any championship they cashed in on? Somebody let me know about that, because it seems like almost every Keys to the Kingdom winner ends up winning a belt. Okay, they did go to intermission at that point in time. We resume with Azrael being introduced as he joined the commentators' table. And we see, making his debut, Jaden Newman challenging Vinny Power Punch Pacifico for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Eventually this, Newman really, impressed in his debut. I forgot how it ended, but Vinny Pacifico, actually it was the Power Punch he used to defeat Jade Newman to retain the Junior Heavyweight Championship. And Azrael came out, and I guess he was telling him he wants a shot at that belt. So I forgot the woman's name again. She interviews Pacifico on the ramp, asking who's going to be next for you, and he says Azrael wants a shot. He says he's going to give it to him June 24th. All right. Next up, we see Devlin Macabre, or is it pronounced Macabre, as she took on the Notorious Mimi, accompanied ring by Travis Jacobs and Tony Ice. Again, all apologies if I got his name wrong. As those ladies went at it. Can't remember how this one ended, but Notorious Mimi was victorious over Devlin Macabre or Macabre to win the matchup. Up next, it was we saw Kelsey Regan, or is it Reagan, challenge Ruthless Lala for not only the Pro Wrestling Magic Women's Championship, but the Generation Pro Gamma Championship. I know it's not strictly a woman's belt, I understand. I forget how it ends, but Ruthless Lala picked up the win over Kelsey Regan. And that young lady came out to interview Lala. Again, I forgot her name. All apologies to her, who was doing interviews, and asked if Lala still has found out who attacked her. One night. I forgot what else she said. Then it was time for the main event of the evening as we saw Pro Wrestling Magic General Manager Smiley accompanied to the ring by Trixie as Smiley challenged indestructible Steve Off, accompanied to the ring by heel son Luke, in a match for not only the Pro Wrestling Magic Dark Arts Championship, but also for the Funhouse Wrestling American Luchador title. Good match these two had, and they actually went out on the floor, and both men picked up a chair and basically paid homage to Masato Tanaka and the late Mike Awesome with the chair joust. I forgot how this one ended off. He pinned Smiley with something to retain the Dark Arts Championship and also become the new Funhouse Wrestling American Luchador Champion. Okay? And then at that point, Steve Off took the microphone and he said that, Smiley mentioned the fact that Smiley has a son of his own. And he says, I know underneath that nice guy I met years ago is still in there somewhere. And he said that they were both setting an example to their sons. That way, 15, 20 years from now, if they do decide to become wrestlers, of course. So they hugged, and Smiley hugged Steve quite tightly to the point where Trixie spit green mist in Off's face. I forgot to mention that Unknown Masked Man, he tried interfering in this matchup. And what happened was Smiley, Trixie, and the Unknown Masked Man, they leave the ring. But then out from the curtain comes the finisher, Steve Pena, and Azriel. And then right by me, we see Johnny Santos with a chair. And across the ramp from Santos is Sebastian Cage with a crutch. And then all of a sudden out comes Donovan, who had not been in Pro Wrestling Magic since losing the Junior Heavyweight Championship back at Kingdom Come 7 in December. And Smiley calls Shane Fair over. And Fair announces to the crowd that Steve Off will defend the Dark Arts title against Donovan immediately. And in the process, Off finally managed to, get the green mist out of his eyes. And in time for them to have this match get underway, Donovan hits the ring. I forgot what movie hit, but Off kicks out. But then Donovan eventually hits that Southside knockout, which is that running knee strike he's known for, and he pins Steve Off to become the new Pro Wrestling Magic Dark Arts Champion. So quite a night this was. Hispanos Unidos now have the two top singles championships in Pro Wrestling Magic right now. The Tri-Wizards Championship changed. Yeah, those were the only three championships that changed on this very event, while everybody else retained. And also Steve Off is still, even though he lost the Dark Arts title, he's still the Funhouse Wrestling American Luchador Champion. Personal notes, great seeing the Cuban hype men, Bruno and Fernando, Mikey Mickendro, Erica was there, Cheyenne Ortiz, who commentates, he works for other wrestling promotions, like Ace Pro Wrestling, ECPW, BCW. Cheyenne, I don't know if you'll see this, but is Upper Limit Wrestling still around, or are they done? Okay. I say Erica, Cheyenne Ortiz, Sherry Ann, her son Mikey. I forgot that young blonde who shows up in a wheelchair. She was kind of intrigued with my megaphone after my own worst enemy in January. Hopefully there'll come a day she'll get a picture holding on to it. What else we've got? Others I saw in the crowd. Oh, how could I forget? Elliot. Tony, not the Tony I used to know long ago. I'm surprised we didn't see Pete. Pete was not there. No Jason Bob 87. No Bill Parham. Philip was not there. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. What else can I say about this event? Wow. Come on. I'm trying to think here. By the way, of course, for those who know that it was raining, I got soaked in the rain after the show, waiting for the bus that was supposed to come 9:27, but didn't show up till 9:40. I don't know if it's traffic or due to the rain, but NJ Transit, you're never fucking prompt with your buses. I didn't really want to take an Uber or a Lyft back to New York City or even straight home because, it does, well, that fucking shit costs an arm and a leg. We have some memorable quotes. Billy Ray Cyrus wants his mullet back. This lady be sitting near us at Troy or Trey Lock. From there, I love Eddie Pacifico, okay? That blonde sitting in the front row across the room from where I was sitting, from my side of the room, not where the ramp is. The ramp was right by me. Take your PDA somewhere else. That same blonde when Travis Jacobs and Notorious Mimi kissed. Wow. During intermission, I had 2 of those hot dogs, and they were pretty good. What else can I think of or can be said about this event? Wow. All right. Okay, well, I guess it's time to plug. Pro Wrestling Magic returns on Saturday night, May 20th with Mambo number 5. And actually, we have a match already announced. At one point, Shane Fair announced to the crowd that he had spoken to General Manager Smiley about introducing a new concept called the White Glove Challenge, where Shane Fair said he's been scouting other promotions for talent. Well, on Saturday night, May 20th, the first ever White Glove Challenge will be taking place as it will be Nolo Kitano taking on Trey Felipe. By the way, about this show that I'm discussing here with you, JC Storm was not there, Trey Felipe was not there. I don't know if anybody else was missing in action. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be there on May 20th, but as of right now, matches that I think may or may not happen. I'm thinking maybe this will happen. The newly crowned Dark Arts champion Donovan defends that belt against former champ Steve Off. Actually, another match that may be happening, Travis Jacobs going one-on-one with Ref Dave. For some reason, near the end of this show, I was like really growing depressed for some reason. I will have to say this, that as far as that blonde-haired lady who I quoted earlier in this video, I don't know if somehow, some way, she and I could end up sitting together at a show. I think she probably would have fun with using my megaphone. Um, oh, I take it Death Row will probably face any two members of Hispanos Unidos for the tag team title. That'll probably happen, may or may not happen May 20th. And, oh, I don't know if anybody's noticed a pattern here, but ever since Smiley became the 100% general manager, have you noticed something about them? Well, not about his appearance or his ring work, all right? But let's look at the pattern, okay? At My Own Worst Enemy, in January, he enters last in the Chad Adams Memorial Rumble. At What Is Love in February, Project Mayhem initially challenged for the Tri-Wizards Championship. At I Believe in a Thing Called Love, Smiley and Eden challenged Death Row for the tag team title, and Osito had challenged Vinny Pacifico for the junior heavyweight title. I don't know, does anybody see a pattern here? And on this occasion, here at Tubthumping, Project Mayhem won the Tri-Wizards Championship from Prolific. And Smiley had challenged for the Dark Arts Championship, but failed to win it. Again, anybody see a pattern here? Ooh, Shane Fair, I remember when you were the general manager and then the 50% general manager of Pro Wrestling Magic, you used to do live videos, live Facebook videos, doing street magic the day of the shows. I guess those things won't be coming back at any given time, or I doubt Smiley himself would like do something like that. La 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 la. Mm. Damn. Be interesting to see where somebody of these. Actually, I'm guessing maybe Alex Ryman 1-on-1 with Dan Moff. Yeah, okay, I guess that'll do it, folks. But great to be back at Pro Wrestling Magic for the first time in months. Again, not sure if I'm coming to Mambo number 5 on Saturday, May 20th. Sure hope I can make the show, but we'll see what happens, folks. And as I said many times, said in the past, Pro Wrestling Magic equals party atmosphere. Oh, before I go, one thing I mentioned to both the Cuban hype men, Fernando and Bruno, you know, but one person that I wish would come back for a show someday is Gail. They actually did another raffle. I think that the prize was 2 general admission tickets for Pro Wrestling Magic's May 20th show titled Mambo number 5, which is happening Saturday, May 20th. I mean, I doubt Gail and Callie, since they currently live in Florida, they'll ever come back up for a show. What else can I think of? I was about to wrap this up. Fernando. Man, I don't know, were you having like a virtual cream fest over Trixie? My goodness, man. So, okay, that'll do it. Definitely a great show. Glad I was there, and see where they go from here.